And then importance of library as a place is dwindling. Since students are working on internet, they are trying to access information from internet. So they do not visit library. So you must ensure that researchers must ensure that they spend daily a couple of hours in library, because when you enter library you will see new arrivals, new books of your field. So at least you will have in touch with the latest, what is happening, what are the latest trend in your field. There are in libraries, there are reading rooms where current issues of journals are kept, where newspaper and magazines are kept. So even if you don't want to read, if you go through the TOC, a table of contents of the current issues of journals, you will come to know, you will learn many new things, because even titles are one of the important things you will learn. Further, if you perambulate, if you move among shelves, you will come to know about books about which you did not know before coming to information, before coming to library. So this is known as serendipity of information. That means you come across new information by chance. Then there are the other factors like pressure of deadlines, because what happens, we work in on and off mode, we don't work consistently. There is no tenacity of efforts, there is no consistency of efforts. What happens, there is a call for a conference and we just have to submit an abstract. We submit an abstract, our abstract is accepted. Then we realize that we still have a lot of time, because full text will be submitted by 22nd of June 2022. So what happens, we sit back and relax. What is this you can see? This is a house which has everything one can think of. So similarly, this is, in fact, this is an abstract. When there is a call for papers, we submit an abstract, and we mention each and everything which we will be doing, which we will be reporting through our finding. But then what happens, since we don't work consistently and time flies, then and when at the 11th hour we are expected to submit, we take uh, we uh, we take all shortcuts to get our full text ready. So in fact, this is our full text. So what I mean to say is that consistency of efforts is very important. What is the impact of misconduct? I think I'll leave all this. So this I already referred to. Replication of results or reproducibility of science or research is very important. And then all these kinds of misconduct are occurring at such an amazing frequency that a blog has come up which is known as Retraction Watch. It highlights all the journal articles, all the studies where the misconduct has occurred. These are some examples. This is what I say, this is what I was telling you, that the study is not removed, but it is watermarked like this, retracted. Then as you know, universities are getting and your researchers are getting access to these anti-plagiarism facilities, and these anti-plagiarism software facilities, they help in originality checking, they engage students, these software, they also help in managing assignment, they improve faculty evaluation process, they provide rich feedback, they promote academic integrity check. What are the advantages? Quality of assignments is increased, Instant feedback from teachers is possible. Students learn from one another through peer review. Then these tools also teach you about citation and referencing skills. Then they also act as deterrent for the students. But then there is a word of caution in use of anti-plagiarism software. These cannot replace human intelligence, cannot decide if plagiarism has occurred. They are useful in flagging up problems, and similarity index should not be taken up at its face value. Instructors or supervisors have to take final call. These are simply aids in order to give effective feedback to the students. These tools teach the students about the best practices of scholarly writing and communication. Highlights false positive for common phrases, correctly quoted content, long names of institutions. It highlights false negatives. Software may not highlight the source of plagiarized content if it is not available online. This is important. Reports should be closely read, evaluated, and interpreted. Less originality index should not lead to skipping reading the full text. High originality index should not lead to outright rejection. Role of libraries, research work processes, aspects like how to formulate research questions, training on writing, paraphrasing, plagiarism workshops on how to acknowledge sources, use quotations, paraphrases, and citation styles, teaching of ethics. Then, what is the role of teachers? The teachers should act as mentors and clarify and demonstrate with examples the rules of academic conduct. When researchers and faculty members make imprudent decisions because of stress, time pressure, and inadequate mentorship, it all results into misconduct. A little hand holding of researchers would pay rich dividends in nurturing science and technology in India. Then predatory journals should be avoided. Okay, time doesn't permit, so I will. So I'll just to conclude, I'll say it's important for all researchers to know about it's important for all researchers to know about what are the different rules and regulations in place. Further, you should know about what are the different tools and facilities which your library offers for your research work. So, in case you are unaware, you won't be able to make use of those tools and techniques which are available which are available you won't if you are ignorant. So it's important for you to know about different rules and regulations, different tools and techniques, different softwares which are in place to help you in your research work. And then it's also important for you to understand that honesty is the best policy. Further, consistency of efforts is very important. Tenacity is very important. If you are working in on and off mode, then you won't be able to, gain anything. So, my message over here to you is that consistency of efforts is the mantra. So, thank you very much. Now, I request you to raise your queries or feedback or comments.
Now the floor is open for interaction. If you have any questions to ma'am, you can ask directly to her. Okay, great. Then, ma'am, actually, thank you a lot, ma'am, for being with us. And actually, it is our immense pleasure to have you as our chief guest and resource person for today's event. I know that you are a widely traveling person. Last night, when I was talking to you, you were in Lucknow Airport, and in spite of that busy schedule, you could take some time for us. We are really grateful to you, ma'am. And thank you for being with us. And we expect such kind of cooperation from your side in future as well, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for giving me a patient hearing and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you from Fakir Mohan University.
Thank you, madam.
Now we have our next speaker, Dr. Rabinaran Behra sir from Fakir Mohan University. I would like to request my colleague Dr. Rajashree Datta madam to give a formal introduction of our next resource person. Ma'am, it's over to you.
Ma'am, you are not audible. Kindly unmute.
Oh, oh. So, thank you, sir. And the resource person for our first day short-term course on research and publication ethics is Dr. Rabinaran Behra, who will be delivering on open access publishing. And Dr. Behra is a former faculty of GM University, Sambalpur, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda, Gujarat, and Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar. He is confirmed with the gold medal by Northeastern Hill University, Ceylon, and Young Geographer Award 2010 by Indian Institute of Geographers, Pune. He is awarded with many national fellowships, UGC Basic Science Research Fellowship, ICSSR Doctoral Fellowship, and UGC Dr. Radhakrishna Postdoctoral Fellowship. Besides, he is a recipient of international travel grants from International Union for Scientific Study of Population, Spain, and University of Bergen, Norway. He has worked as a research fellow and research associate with Regional Center, National Afforestation and Eco Development Board, Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India, and Indian Council of Social Science Research, respectively. He is trained in different branches of human geography, and his broad research interests focus on dynamics in human and natural systems, including community resources, sustainable forest use, agrodiversity, biodiversity, food security, socio-cultural and economic issues emerged in the interface of biophysical and socio-cultural settings. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to interact with
Your mic is up, I think. Or,
hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
no, okay. My mic was up.
Okay. This is very nice opportunity to interact with our own research scholars, and this is one of my, very first opportunity to interact with the research scholars across disciplines of this university, and I think I'll able to give justice to this topic that is on open access. So let me share my slides. Ma'am, is it moving my slides? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Visible, no?
Yes, sir.
It's moving or no?
No.
Not moving now?
No.
You can do it in full screen. Automatically, it will move on. You can either
Now?
can do the slideshow or you can make it full screen. Okay.
Now is it moving?
No, sir, it's not moving.
Not moving, no?
No.
Why don't you click on that slideshow option?
So you please make it full screen.
Go to the
Yeah, to
top.
full screen. Now I made. Is it moving?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Now it is moving.
Yes, moving.
So open access publishing is not very new, and the idea, though it's the conceptually, though it is very new to us, but it's not very new. The philosophy behind this is, though it is coming from the West, and we think this is very new idea, but in reality, it's not new. It is very old, and we can say a fossilized one. So many times we see in our traditional societies, there are many things which are really open. Nobody is having licensing over it. Like a small example I can bring here, um, like the pond which we are using in our village, the village pond. Okay, that is. And everybody is using. And there are many folklores and many things in our traditional societies which are really, we don't know who is the author, but we are using those materials for our everyday life. So this is a kind of a oriental introduction to open access publishing kind of things, but we are not so much into this. But now in the scientific publishing world, we are talking about open access publishing. And we when you're talking about open access publishing, then we can't forget this philosopher, the Peter Saber. The Peter Saber is a very well-known philosopher of law and open access knowledge. And this philosopher, he has written many books on open access, and two of them I have shown here. That is, one is written in 2012 and another is in 2016. Both of them published by MIT Press, and the crux of these books are talking about open access. And the second book, you can see the title is talking about knowledge unbound. It means knowledge has it has no boundary. It can go anywhere, and we should not restrict knowledge to reach to any person in any corner of the world. So really, if we see these two books, then it giving a different kind of philosophy to the knowledge system. The knowledge system should be open to everyone, and whatever knowledge we produce, that knowledge should reach to the well-being of the each individual uh, in the world, in any corner of the world. So in this book, he advocated very strongly that we must shift to a new paradigm, that is a unbound, without any territory. I mean, something like it can go to anywhere. So we all of us are acquainted with this symbol. This symbol is very much, we love this symbol because particularly in country like India, where we have very limited access to impact factor journals and good journals, uh, there we love this symbol. Uh, because where we find this symbol, then we think we can get it. But what does it mean actually? What is the meaning of this symbol? This symbol says something, some philosophy. I mean, there is some philosophy behind this symbol. There is some
Sir,
standard. I
sir,
mean,
sorry for disturbing.
yes,
Your slides are not moving, sir.
not moving. Sorry.
Yes.
Stop sharing. Should I share a window or enter screen? Is it visible now, ma'am?
So not yet.
Not visible.
No.
Now,
Right.
is it visible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I was talking about these two books and this symbol, and this symbol we love it. I told you because in a country like India, we have very limited access, and wherever we see this symbol in any journal, we become very happy, and we say at least we can get something because most of our library have limited access to good journals. So I was talking about the philosophy behind the philosophy, the movement, the paradigm behind this symbol. That is, we are talking about open access. Open access is is a new paradigm. It's a new movement. It is a new shift in knowledge management across world. Open access. This whatever I have written in my introduction, that is I have already covered in my previous a few sentences. Still, let me emphasize on few words at least. Open access is truly a global phenomena with implication for breaking down the barriers and the benefiting the scholars without access to all literature. This enables us to global view of scholarship, and the internet has considerably extended this reach. So before it was not possible because of the traditional way we are publishing our research articles, our thesis, our any books that was traditionally published like in a print version only. But when most of us started using internet and digital platforms, then now the globe is sinking into very small size. The scale has been reduced so much because we have break down our barriers. We have break down our barriers, and why we have breaking down our barriers? Because of benefiting scholars across the globe. And this open access also referred as open storage. It means something like a community, and a community can use whatever resources available in a community. That is something like a community resources. So another word which has been commonly used for this kind of resources are open storage at excessively high and rapidly accelerating price. If you want to, sometimes we face problem, particularly in developing country, that when we want to get an article, it asks for money, some few dollars you have to pay, then only you can get. So these kind of problems are uh, uh, we want to escape this kind of problem, and uh, this open access philosophy can help us, and particularly to the developing nation, and studies. When we open up our researches into different open source platforms, then really these developing countries, they are so much benefited. They're so much benefited, and now the research in developing countries, they are um,